go. And now we are live. Welcome to Networking Conversations, a space where we meet my network, and my network, my guests, they have an opportunity to share their inner gifts and to share their expertise as well, so we all benefit, and we to getting to know each better. So before I will introduce my guest, I'm Lolita Reid, a coach, and a mentor, and a confidence builder, and I work with soul-led women, solopreneurs, and I help them to align their soul mission with their business strategy via clarity and confidence building. So that's me. And today, my guest, as I already said, this is the space for my guests, is Rose Covenant, a somatic architect. And we are going to cover a very interesting topic today. How is hidden trauma sabotaging our businesses? And because, we all run one or another type of business, and it's very important to know sometimes what is going on in some deeper layers, not just on the surface where we strategize everything, but what is going on deeper. So, Rose, welcome. I'm not going to keep everybody with me talking. Rose, welcome. Take the stage, and the questions we would like to hear, or answers to the questions, are these: who are you? What do you do? And why do you do what you do? We'll start with this. Rose, take it away.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lolita. I am Rose Covenant. I'm a somatic architect. I'm a somatic healer. So basically, what I do is I help people to identify the emotional roots, the emotional wounds, the trauma that's still living in their body, even if they've done a ton of mindset work, a ton of talk therapy. They understand all their self-limiting beliefs or their sabotaging behaviors, but they just can't seem to stop doing them. So somatic is a word that is becoming more and more popular. I'd love to unpack what that is, what that means for me, and how I started this
Yeah,
journey.
please
So,
do, because I just will stop you for a moment, because as I said before, somatic is this word that now everybody feels like everybody talks about it, but nobody knows exactly what it is. So yes, please
right.
explain to us.
Yeah. So somatic means soma. Soma means the body. So different practitioners will use the word somatic to mean a lot of different things. Some somatic healers are like, okay, we're just going to do breath work. We're going to roll around on the floor. We're going to cry, and boom, you're done. For me, it means a little bit more than that, a lot more than that. So my journey to trauma-informed somatic work, I also use a blend of energetic work and parts work. So if anyone's familiar with IFS, inner family systems, inner child stuff. So I came to healing. It's really been a lifelong pursuit. Even when I was really little, I always wanted to know more about myself, understand myself. And like so many of us, especially women, I grew up to be a people pleasing, high achieving perfectionist.
Absolutely.
So the way that showed up for me, and it shows up differently for all of us, really interesting lighting right now. For me, it showed up as chronic pain. So I lived in chronic pain for 8 years, went to all the doctors. And basically, at the end of the day, I understood that it was emotional pain and survival energy and survival patterns that were stuck in my body that were so intense that my body's only way to communicate them was with chronic pain. So I started a journey of mind body healing, which is basically reconnecting our minds and our bodies. So for me in somatic work, all of our conditioning from childhood, from being in traditional school settings, from being in traditional work settings, is basically we live here. We live in the mental place. We're rewarded for sitting in our seat and being quiet and doing our work quietly. And we learn at this subconscious level to really suppress all of our emotions. We can't be too excited. We can't be too sad. We can't be too in grief. We can't be too angry, especially as women. We can't be angry. So we learn to hold all of that in. And because we're so dissociated from our body, we live here and we might not even feel our emotions.
Yeah.
We might not even be aware that they're there. And so our body will tell us in some way. It might show up as anxiety, depression, fatigue. Migraines are super common, back pain, but it can also show up in our business.
Yeah.
We invest, we have a coach, we make this strategy, we put all the parts together, and then we're like, ooh, I don't want to launch it. Or we're about to launch it, and then we decide we want to change everything. So when we talk about this somatic healing, it's really this deeper connection to your body. It's healing those wounds of feeling like love is conditional, I'm not safe, I can't trust myself. And when we do that, we become holistic beings, we become reconnected. And from that heart and soul led place, we can create in the world what we want to create in the world without being stuck in these patterns. And I talk a lot about trauma. I think a lot of us, we can have this idea trauma is like this huge, big, terrible thing that happened. It can also be these tiny micro wounds of we didn't feel safe, we didn't feel seen, we didn't feel accepted. We had to perform in a certain way to get love as children. And so when we are these business owners, and I'm also a soulpreneur,
Yeah.
when we're these business owners and it's like we're living in this split place where there's part of us that knows that we're part of source, God, universe,
Yeah.
energy, soul, whatever word lands for you, having this earthly experience. We have this amazing ability to create change, to create healing, to create spaciousness, abundance for ourselves, our family, and our world. And we know that deep in our bones. And then we also have this like small human cage around us that's all of these survival energies that I'm not loved, I'm not safe, I can't trust myself. And so when these two things clash, for me in my life and what I see in my clients, that's the opportunity to heal and expand. That's where we can unlock the impact that we're meant to make in this world. Because if you're listening to this, like Lolita and I live in the world where we want to create more love, joy, expansion,
Absolutely.
confidence, health, happiness. And the only way for us to do that is to heal the things that are constricting us, that are making us small.
Yes, we definitely need to heal what stops us. And when you mentioned migraines, I used to suffer for migraines for many years, and that was down to accident. But there are no accidents as such. Everything happens for a reason. So I had this migraine, and I literally was out for weeks when it used to hit. And then and of course I didn't have like a healer or somebody like you in my life. And but that came just to me naturally one day in this dark room with this hit of attack. I was lying, and it just came to me that I need to speak my truth. My is the emotions, the suppressed emotions expressed in this migraine. And then I noticed that yes, I was trying to be politically correct everywhere. I didn't want any dramas, or also I love dramas, but I was like, I will be drama queen, just like observer. And I let people to literally sit on my, as I say, on my head. That's the saying in my country, and it looks funny, of course, but and that's why. And when I started, Rose, it just, and this is probably you can explain in your somatic language. When I start expressing myself, not at once, of course, freely, I had less and less migraines, and that's the truth. So how would you just what is the explanation from your world, in your world?
So if we think about emotions as energy in motion, you can think about they're going down a river, right? And our nervous system is the banks of that river that holds the emotion. So if we grew up in a safe and secure and loving environment, and we saw big emotions expressed, we saw people cry or express anger in a healthy way, then any big emotion comes through us, it comes through our body. We're like, yep, we can hold that. All good. Most of us, me at least, didn't grow up with that. So we have these narrow riverbanks where if we go over this riverbank, if there's a big emotion and it's too much, it's like we get triggered. Our body goes into survival. It's like, this is not a safe emotion. It's basically like we're having the physical reaction as if there was a tiger or a bear that jumped out. And so all of that excess emotion has to go somewhere. And that's held in our body. It's held in our energy field. It's held in our mind. There's a super interesting thing that happens when we have a memory that's laid down as traumatic. All memory is laid down in our hippocampus. If we have a traumatic memory, it's also laid down in our amygdala. And this plays a big role in our fight or flight reaction.
Yeah.
And so when we have these experiences again and again of there's too much emotion, the leftover is held in my body. There's too much emotion, it's held in my body. Our body actually starts to react as if that excess emotion is dangerous.
Yeah.
And if we think about gut issues, if we think about anxiety, depression, migraines, physical pain, these are all danger signals. It's our body being like, something is wrong.
Yes.
And we're so conditioned in a Western model to think that what's wrong is always something physical. And of course, disclaimer, always check with the doctor if something's going on in your physical body. So many of us, including myself, went to doctors and there was nothing wrong.
Yeah.
And so if we can look at that relationship with our bodies, as our body is always giving us information.
Yes.
And as we heal, we can feel those subtle emotions. We can feel that, I have a little constriction in my throat because I'm a little bit afraid to speak my truth.
Yeah.
But when we are so dissociated, we're so in our mind, we don't hear those subtle things. We don't hear that slight clench in the gut or that slight clench in the throat. And when we hold that in long enough, it becomes anxiety, overthinking. We're constantly worst case scenarioing.
Yeah, very good expression. This is something new I heard, but creating stories that is not there,
Right.
We
and this happens in business as well.
So
we get
let's go now. Sorry, just I'll stop you for a minute because I want you again to put that question there. How is hidden trauma, and we know that trauma could be anything in small or bigger, sabotaging our businesses?
So what I see most commonly are 3 emotional roots. It is the wound that love is conditional. It is the wound that we're unsafe. And it is the wound that we can't trust ourselves.
Yeah.
And so any of these 3 wounds, to a certain extent, all of us on the planet have a little bit of this, right? We came into a human experience, we get some. Yeah. So if we look at first the wound of, I can't trust myself. Now in business, originally this happened because, as I mentioned, we're so conditioned to be in our mind, we're disconnected from our body. Yeah. So if you think about taking in information, our bodies take in about a library of information in every moment. Yeah. All of our senses, we can see, we can smell, we can have that sort of energetic sense. And our conscious mind is only able of processing information that's about a sentence in one of the books in the library. And so when we are conditioned to look to our intellect for every single answer every single time, what happens is we're only using that one sentence in the book. So we're overanalyzing, we're overthinking, we're worrying, we're thinking about the worst case scenarios, we're comparing ourselves to others, we're making lists of pros and cons, we're running down all of these intellectual rabbit holes, and we're outsourcing our power. We're asking everyone else, we're asking a friend, a coach, a mentor, well, what do you think I should do? What do you think is the best way? And we're totally disconnected from ourselves, our intuition, our deeper knowing. And when we talk about our intuition, we can think about that in terms of I'm dropping into the portal of my soul, and that information is timeless. We can also think about it from a physiologic neuroscience-y way of if I just use my conscious mind, I'm just using that sentence in the library. If I use my entire body, then I'm tapping into the entire library moment by moment. Because we've all had a gut feeling. We've all been walking down the street and gone to take a left and then be like, nope, don't want to take a left, and course corrected.
Absolutely.
And we've also all had the experience of, okay, I'm going to launch this event. I don't really feel good about it. I'm not really feeling aligned to it, but strategically I'm supposed to do it. And so we did it and we put all this energy and then nothing happened.
Yeah.
Because we weren't connected.
Absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I
and
totally
that's
agree.
where trauma comes in because it's taught us that we can't trust ourselves. We aren't safe and we aren't lovable, or we can't trust love. And so we keep behaving in ways that are safety seeking. And as a business owner, it becomes impossible.
Very
we become
hard.
frozen in inaction.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree. You see, this is because any business we do, even if somebody work with artificial intelligence, we still need people, and we work with people. These energies, interact with each other, and if we have trust issues, if we seek a validation, that's definitely influencing our business and how we do things in business. That I definitely if we want to run our business the way that we meant to run our businesses, with ease and with joy. So you definitely, recommendation from you would be reconnect with your body using the systems or tools that you use. And that would definitely improve the flow of the whole operation, because business is energy as well, in one sense of another. So can you share one practice or tip or something, from your practice on how to deal with or how to reconnect with your body? Whatever you want to share, I would appreciate that, and I'm sure many of us would appreciate.
So first, to unpack, if something is coming up for you, whether it's business or life, sometimes we think that different areas of our life are disconnected. Like, oh, I have my business here, my life with my family here, my romantic life here. Everything is everything. Everything is mixed. So any deep healing that you do in one area of your life is going to affect every other area of your life. So my biggest recommendation would be to find someone to support you in going deeper in your journey, whatever that looks like for you, where you feel safe, you feel seen, you feel understood, and finding that support so that you feel like you can fall apart. And it'll be okay. I know for me, I had done self-development for more than 10 years. And it was like I was on a train, and when I found the right support, I got on the rocket ship. So I will provide some tips and tools about what you can do in the moment, but know that this is a deeper journey, and you deserve to feel loved, to feel safe, to feel like you can trust yourself. And whatever path you find to that is one really worth taking. One of the easiest things to do is to reconnect with your breath and come back to the present moment.
Right.
So especially as women, men as well, we're conditioned to hold our gut in so we can be sexy, right? So we can be attractive. What happens when we do that is we're compressing all of our vital internal organs, and we're only breathing in the top part of our lungs. This actually physiologically gives us a stress response. Breathing in this way tells our body, hey, there's actually a tiger and it's going to get you. So one of the easiest things to do is to let your belly hang out, just completely relax your abdomen. You can put your hands on your low belly and just take 3 to 10 deep breaths from that belly place. And the more that we do that, the more that we can condition our body to breathe that way naturally, the less additional stress we're giving ourselves moment by moment.
Beautiful. I think that's why belly dancers look so sexy as well, because they just don't care. They have beautiful bellies, and they just their bellies never tried, but I am trying to, and I will try to. So how can our listeners find you? Because I know we don't have many who watch us now, but we will create this. We will, like this video, I will repost, and there will be people who will watch this, and they are welcome. The energy will be the same. So how can our listeners will find you?
Yeah. So I'm on Instagram and LinkedIn and online at iamrosecovenant.com. So
Mhm.
I'd absolutely love to connect with anyone who's interested in going on that deeper journey.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I will take your details and I will put in all the comment sections so anybody and everybody can find you, because it's so important to reconnect. And I do feel you are one of the amazing guides, and
Thank
everybody
you.
needs your guidance. So thank you so much for sharing your gifts with me today. But before you go, tell me this. How did you end up in living in Peru?
So I am a digital nomad. I've been traveling and doing healing work remotely with people since 2020. In 2021, I started traveling. I spent about 3.5 years traveling around Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just had this heart call to come to Machu Picchu. And I series of events like ended up coming with a group, ended up staying, ended up meeting my partner on a street corner in a tiny hippie town. Um,
Oh, I have chills. So that was like amazing, blessed journey.
yeah, and I think this is when we really dig down into why do we do the healing work?
Yeah,
And healing work, like it's not riding a unicorn on a rainbow road. It is messy. It is ugly. It is bringing love to the deepest, most hurt parts of ourselves.
yeah,
And for me, one of my primary motivations was finding romantic love because I was in all of these like
yeah.
not
Tinder,
emotionally available, not aligned.
those, as I say, Tinder level relationship. So, Tinder
Yeah.
Winder, what it's called.
And that was a primary reason. And as well, I still do this work. Every week I'm working with my mentor to go deeper and deeper so
Yeah,
that I can hold deeper space for
yeah,
clients that I work with. And when we do this deeper work, it's not just our business that grows.
no,
It's everything changes in our family relationships, everything changes in our romantic relationships, just the way we feel day to day, because it's cliche, but
mm,
if we think about like, why do I want an amazing business? Oh, I want to feel fulfilled. I want to feel happy. I want to feel joyful. I want to feel abundant. I want to feel free. I want to do what I want to do when I want to do it. Like all of these qualities. And when we don't do the deeper work first or in
mm,
conjunction with growing our business,
yeah,
we can have all those external things
yeah.
and still feel deeply dissatisfied, deeply disconnected
Empty,
because
empty. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
That emptiness, I know the feeling. I used to have that, so I know what you're talking about, and it's very important.
Mm,
That's why
mm,
it's not about external things. It's everything starts with us. And you just said, when we start working on ourselves, and once you start working on yourself, there is no way back. Honestly, I like when I
oh,
started,
Lolita,
I
don't tell
was
him
like,
that.
no, I know. I like, oh my God, what is this shit? Pardon my French. No, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. Once you start
Yeah.
going that direction, there is no way
Mm,
back. But the beauty of it that you have that, you know, a sense of achievement, that fullness, a soul,
mm,
not just, show off.
mhm.
Yeah, that's very important. So yes, thank you so much again, and good luck with your love in living in Peru as well. And I love your earrings. Oh my God, like they are
Thank you. Thank you.
beautiful. Love the color. You look beautiful, and clearly you are doing, as I say, something right, because you radiate the passion, you radiate the love, and you live your life according to your heart. And that's very important, and that's all of us should aim for that. Not maybe, at once, but step by step we should follow good examples like you, Rose, just doing right now. So thank you again. And I will end this live, and I will post the videos from our conversation on social media, so more and more people can get to know about somatic work, and to reconnect with their bodies, and eventually reconnect with their life that they meant to live. Thank you very, very much. And I'll see you around, Rose. I will end our